Pressure motherfucking stampede. So this is a box set that I'm honestly like both really hyped for and honestly pretty disappointed by because it's literally just five models. Yeah, these are five really powerful, really cool Tyranid monster models. Like every single one of them is beautiful in design. I have some of these, honestly. I have some of these models. They look phenomenal. They're cool. They're really awesome looking models. I love them. But there's only five of them, so this kind of brings this box set down. But if you guys aren't familiar with the Tyranids, they are basically a hive mind xeno race from beyond the Milky Way galaxy, and they came to our galaxy to consume all biomatter. So anything that is organic, they will consume it, and they will actually integrate it into their bodies to become more perfect weapons of destruction and consummation. So in this box set, we have probably one of my favorite ones, which is the Nero Tyrant. So these guys are basically really powerful psychic Tyranid monstrosities that just crush everything underweight. They are really fun, and if the 10th edition if the 10th edition Leviathan release is to be believed, these things have the psychic potency to overwhelm a Space Marine librarian, which is no easy feat. Next up, we got the Screamer Killer, which is probably one of the more aggressive Tyranid models, in my opinion. Like not just from like a gameplay perspective, because honestly, they're not really as aggressive as I would have liked them to be. I think they need more health, honestly. But what I really like about them is the design of the model is just aggressive. It screams aggression, and I just love it. This thing is really fun, and it hunts things. It's hyper aggressive, and I believe the bioplasma it spits is probably one of the most like corrosive substances in the 40k universe. And it isn't just a screamer killer that's fucking dangerous because we have the Tyrannofax, which is again a pretty terrifying model. I really like that it's just like this huge, just living weapon beat stick, right? Like this thing is just really fun. And then like the Haruspex, I'm not the biggest fan of. I think it's a little bit ugly. Like, okay, honestly, I think okay. Out of all the models that were in this box set, I think the Haruspex should be removed, and they should probably replace it with like a Norn emissary. Like if there was a Norn emissary in this box set, it would have been like peak in my opinion. This box set really needs that. I mean, I don't think it really needs it honestly, because like every single one of these monsters, when it comes to the hive mind, is already kind of like was already kind of separate in its own way. So like maybe adding the Norn emissary probably would have brought a bit more together, like from a psychic coherency level. But like also Northern Emissary is a cool ass model, and it would have made this thing just so much more better. But I mean you can't win them all. And then the Maliceptor, which is just a psychic monstrosity, is pretty powerful. But if I'm gonna be completely honest, this isn't from a homebrew perspective. The Tyranids are pretty limited. But when it comes to these monsters, specifically like Crusher Stampede, my first thought is always Kaiju. Like I'm not sure if that's just me, and maybe that's just me just kind of like really wanting to really wanting to bring the Northern Emissary into this box set. But if there was like basically Kaiju, so for me this High Fleet would be like High Fleet Kaiju, and it would just drop these really powerful, really big monsters to Crusher Stampede planets. They would rise from the ocean, they would destroy everything. And like a lot of these monsters that we see in this box set are pretty not aquatic based, but they do have like some maritime features. They're like crustacean or crab like or just like insectoid or even like they have water feet they have monster water features. So yeah, we'll do kaiju. This will be High Fleet Kaiju, and they send these giant kaiju like Tyranids into the ocean that just rise out of the sea and destroy everything. And the Screamer Killer is going to be Godzilla. Yeah, perfect. There we go. That's this box set's homebrew. All right, let's move on to the next one. The Tau. Oh fuck, it's the Tau. So this box says focus on Commander Farsight, and he is a rebel leader among the Tau faction. So the Tau are a unified group of a bunch of different alien races that are all united under the idea of the greater good. Now, while Commander Farsight was a member of the Tau species, due to a number of basic plot points in his story, from him losing access to his ethereals, to him being put in command, to basically being sent on the front lines with limited resources, to fighting the orcs and basically trying to beat them in melee combat, which is not good for the Tau. Basically, Farsight became disillusioned with the Tau Empire and actually became not so much exiled, quietly removed from their records. He was wiped from existence because he was considered too much of a free thinker. Little did they know, Commander Farsight actually found a basically demon sword that makes him into a vampire. So anytime he kills someone, he actually gains access to all of that individual's remaining lifespan, adds on to his own as well as gaining access to their experience. This is really cool for Commander Farsight. It makes him really powerful and really deadly in combat. The issue, though, is when I think of Farsight, I think of the Eight. If you guys don't know who the Eight are Farsight included, are 7 Tau commanders who use battle suits, which is what this box set focuses on, obviously. But every single one of them is a highly skilled commander with a custom battle suit. Now, not only does this box set not have those 8 members, it just has Farsight. But I mean, you could technically argue that a couple of these models could be, Kit Bash or proxied as one of Commander Farsight's the 8. Like for example, the Riptide Battle Suit I know is one of his 8 members. I just can't remember which one at the moment. So like, it is possible to do that. But when the entire premise of this box set focuses on the Farsight plotline and it just has Farsight in it, it's a little bit harder for us to get that theme. That being said, though, for homebrew lore, I would probably have this be not Farsight in his 8. This would probably just be more like a response force. Basically, like the 8 are kind of doing their own things while fighting on different battlefields. This is basically just Farsight doing his. Although, like I wanted to do with Fulgrim, I don't want to include like named characters into this because named characters lore should be its own thing. It should be related to the canon of the story. It should be written by the official creators of the series. So this box set has a little bit. It has its difficulties when it comes to creating your own homebrew lore. It has very low homebrew lore potential because Farsight's in it. That being said, though, if you want to say Kit Bash Farsight as like your own custom commander, then that is a possibility. But this box, just like the Fulgrim one, does have that major issue. And unlike the Fulgrim box, which you could argue Fulgrim, the Fulgrim in the box set could just be, a greater demon of Slaanesh that is mimicking Fulgrim's appearance. You can't do that with this one. The only way I could really see this one going is if you want to do like a cop out, this is a simulation kind of thing. That way you can still have Farsight included, or like maybe it's a commander replaying Farsight's memories in some way. That's really the only thing I can really do for this box set to really justify Farsight's inclusion. And if you guys don't care about homebrew or writing your own stuff, then like obviously this tangent doesn't matter to you. The box set is good on its own because it has Farsight in it as well as a Riptide. From someone who focuses on homebrew specifically, this box set doesn't give me that. So like I'm honestly not the biggest fan of this one in general. Overall, that would be kind of my breakdown of the homebrew lores and stories for each one of these box sets. Let me know what you guys' thoughts are in the comment section below, and I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. But I honestly really want to talk about these Battleforce boxes, break them down, and the lore potential behind them. If you guys like what I do, again, make sure to like and subscribe. Make sure YouTube's Machine Spirit hears our prayers and sees our growing community. And with all that out of the way, I've got nothing else to say. I hope you guys all have a great rest of your day. Bye.